The 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is not just a small copper-colored coin from the past. It is a silent witness to a powerful era of change, struggle, hope, and transformation in American history. This penny was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it carries no mint mark. That absence is not a mistake. It is a symbol of origin. The Philadelphia Mint is the birthplace of American coinage, the foundation of the nation's monetary system. Every no-mint mark coin from this mint carries the legacy of America's earliest financial identity. But the true story of this coin is not only where it was made. It is when it was made. 1977 was a year of transition. America was moving through economic pressure, social change, and cultural transformation. Inflation had affected daily life. Families were budgeting. Jobs were changing. Technology was beginning to rise. Society was slowly shifting toward a modern world. This penny moved through that reality. It passed through the hands of people who were adapting, surviving, working, and rebuilding their lives in a changing economy. Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front of the coin represents unity, leadership, sacrifice, and moral strength. Lincoln is not just a historical figure. He is a symbol of endurance and integrity. His image on this penny during a period of uncertainty sends a powerful message. Even when society changes, values remain. Even when systems shift, identity stays strong. Even when times are difficult, character matters. The Lincoln penny becomes a symbol of continuity and change. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial represents memory, legacy, and national identity. It is not just a building. It is a symbol of remembrance, respect, and unity. It represents the preservation of history and the honoring of leadership. This design teaches that nations move forward by remembering their foundations. The 1977 penny circulated through everyday life. It passed through grocery stores, gas stations, schools, factories, buses, trains, offices, homes, markets, and neighborhoods. It paid for candy, newspapers, coffee, school lunches, parking meters, phone calls, and vending machines. It became part of daily routines. This teaches an important lesson. History is not only made in big events. It is lived in small moments, in daily actions, in ordinary life, in simple objects. This penny teaches social history. It reflects a society adjusting to economic pressure and cultural change. Families were learning to manage finances. Communities were adapting to new realities. Culture was evolving. Music, fashion, and ideas were changing. This coin moved through that cultural shift. It became a silent witness to a generation redefining identity and future. The 1977 no-mint mark penny also teaches economic education. It comes from the copper-based era before the full transition to zinc composition in later years. This teaches material history, resource management, economic planning, industrial adaptation. It shows how money systems evolve with society. The penny teaches unity. Everyone used the same money. Rich and poor, young and old, worker and businessman, student and teacher. This shared currency created shared systems and shared trust. It connected people through daily life. The 1977 penny also teaches generational memory. People who lived in the late 1970s remember a world without smartphones, without internet payments, without digital wallets. Money was physical. Transactions were tangible. Coins were real objects, not digital numbers. This penny becomes a memory object, a nostalgia symbol, a piece of analog life. It connects modern society to a simpler financial world. The coin teaches cultural identity. It reflects a culture built on work, adaptation, endurance, and resilience. It shows a society learning to survive change while still moving forward. The penny becomes a mirror of national mindset. The 1977 Lincoln penny also teaches time. What was once common is now collectible. What was once ordinary is now historical. What was once daily money is now memory. This teaches perspective. It teaches respect for everyday objects. It teaches that daily life becomes legacy. The penny also teaches collecting education. It introduces people to history through objects. It teaches research, preservation, learning, and documentation. It becomes a teaching tool, a historical artifact, a classroom object, a cultural resource. The coin also teaches emotional value. Many families kept pennies in jars, boxes, drawers, and collections. These coins carry childhood memories, family stories, and emotional connections. This value cannot be measured in money. It is human. It is personal, it is priceless. The 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is not just metal. It is memory. It is identity. It is culture. It is history. It is education. It is connection. It represents a generation navigating change, a society adapting to pressure, a nation moving forward through uncertainty. It shows that progress is not always smooth. Sometimes progress is survival. Sometimes growth is endurance. Sometimes strength is patience. This coin is not just money. It is a time capsule, a witness to transformation, a symbol of resilience, a reflection of adaptation, a lesson in continuity, a bridge between generations, a piece of American identity. The 1977 Lincoln penny teaches that even the smallest everyday objects can carry powerful stories, that even simple coins can hold deep meaning, that even ordinary money can become extraordinary history. It reminds us that history does not live only in museums and books. It lives in our hands, our pockets, our homes, and our memories. This penny is not just a coin. It is the story of a nation in transition, a people in adaptation, and a society in transformation, preserved forever in a single cent. As time passed, the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny slowly disappeared from everyday circulation. New coins replaced it. New designs followed. New generations grew up. But the penny did not vanish. It moved into drawers, jars, boxes, collections, piggy banks, and memory. It shifted from daily money to historical object, from common change to silent artifact, from ordinary coin to cultural witness. This transition teaches an important lesson about time. Value is not only created by rarity. It is created by meaning, by memory, by story, by connection, by history. The 1977 penny becomes valuable because it carries the fingerprint of an era. It carries the emotions of a generation. It carries the rhythm of a time that no longer exists. It becomes a bridge between past and present, between analog life and digital life, between physical money and virtual systems, between memory and modernity. The coin also teaches psychological value. People attach meaning to objects that survive time. Objects become symbols. Coins become anchors. They represent stability in a world of change. The 1977 penny becomes a symbol of continuity, a reminder that life moves forward but history stays with us, that identity evolves but memory remains, that systems change but roots endure. It also teaches responsibility. The act of preserving coins is the act of preserving history. When someone keeps a 1977 penny, they are not just saving money. They are saving memory. They are saving culture. They are saving a fragment of human experience. Collecting becomes education. Preservation becomes respect. Research becomes learning. Curiosity becomes knowledge. The coin becomes a teacher. The 1977 Lincoln penny also teaches perspective on wealth. True wealth is not always monetary. True wealth can be historical, cultural, educational, emotional, generational. A penny that once bought candy can now teach history. A coin that once paid for a phone call can now tell a story. A piece of metal becomes a document, a witness, a record, a storyteller. This penny also teaches humility. It reminds us that great history lives in small things, that powerful stories live in simple objects, that meaningful lessons live in everyday life. It teaches that we don't need grand monuments to understand the past. Sometimes all we need is a single coin. The 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny becomes a mirror of human life itself. We start as ordinary, we live our purpose, we pass through time, and eventually we become memory. We become story. We become history, just like the coin. It also teaches intergenerational connection. A grandparent who used this penny as change. A parent who kept it in a drawer. A child who finds it in a jar. 3 generations connected by one object. One coin, one story, one memory. This is how history survives, not in books alone, but in objects passed through hands. The penny becomes a silent storyteller. It doesn't speak, but it teaches. It doesn't move, but it connects. It doesn't change, but it transforms meaning. It sits quietly, but it carries a world inside it. The 1977 Lincoln penny teaches that time gives meaning. That survival creates value. That memory creates importance. That history creates power. It is not a rare coin in numbers, but it is rare in story. It is not a luxury object, but it is a cultural artifact. It is not a symbol of wealth, but it is a symbol of identity. It represents an era of transition, a society learning to adapt, a culture evolving, a nation changing, a generation growing. It represents the idea that every era leaves behind witnesses. Some are buildings, some are books, some are photographs, some are coins. This penny is one of those witnesses. It watched a world change. It moved through history. It survived time. It carries memory. It holds meaning. And that is why the 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny is more than a coin. It is a fragment of American life, a piece of cultural memory, a symbol of endurance, a lesson in continuity, a teacher of history, a bridge between generations, a quiet monument in copper. Because sometimes the smallest objects carry the biggest stories.